Mr. Fluffy Pants here, and today, guys, got another review. And today, guys, I just got back from seeing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which just came out, and I'm gonna do a review on it now. I'm sorry, I'm kind of excited, and I just got back from the movie theater like literally like 8 minutes ago. But the first part's gonna be non-spoilers, and then we'll get to spoilers. I'll let you guys know whenever that happens. But The Rise of Skywalker, whenever it first came out, critical reviews were kind of, it's like a 66 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. But then the audience score, started to come in. I didn't see it on Thursday night. I saw it Friday night, which is when I'm recording this. But it's like Saturday morning now, really early in the morning. But so, and then the audience reviews came out on Rotten Tomatoes. It actually looked like it's like 89%. So it's kind of a reversal of The Last Jedi, I guess. But people were saying it's a crowd pleaser and all, but I just don't care. I absolutely love this movie. Like, this movie might be my favorite out of the sequel trilogy, probably by far. I don't know, The Last Jedi is pretty good, but this movie right here is just everything I love about Star Wars and everything. I just loved about this movie. I mean, it's just so awesome. I guess for some non-spoiler things, the action scenes are great, and there were some leaks out there. If you heard any of the leaks that at least the one I heard, which I kind of unintentionally heard, was like 100% accurate. So if you heard any of the leaks, or just stay away from the leaks, I guess, because they were extremely accurate. But just from the opening scene, it captivates you, and you're just like, oh, wow, this, it gets you hooked right on in. And some people were saying this feels like a lot squeezed into a 2-hour movie, or a 2.5-hour movie, which it kind of is. I do wish it was a little longer, but you know what? It gets the purpose done, and there's just so much, fan service in this movie, and just so much going on. I just love it so much. I mean, I guess it ain't really a spoiler because, he's in the posters and all the trailer and stuff, but Emperor Palpatine's return, he is great, and he's just sinister and creepy. We'll get into more of that in the, spoiler review, but and then just, that whole third act is just so magnificent and just so great. There's just so much fan service and all this kind of stuff in there that, you just really gotta go out and watch this movie. Even if you're not the biggest fan of Star Wars, and even if you don't like, Disney's new Star Wars, you just need to see this, though. It wraps up the Skywalker saga so nicely, so I'm definitely gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. It was just so great. You know what, I might even bump that up. Let's just say a 9.3 out of 10. It's just so great. But now we're gonna get to some spoiler section, but so if you guys haven't watched it yet, go watch it, because I'm telling you, you do not want to be spoiled for this movie. But first thing that opens up is, Kylo Ren, he goes to Expaba, I think that's how you say it, but it's pretty much the realm / planet where Emperor Palpatine, has been staying and stuff, and he's just so creepy. He's like got white eyes. He's like decaying here. He's kind of decayed. His bones are showing and stuff. It's kind of creepy. But it's like a Sith kind of sanctuary, I guess. This is where he's been staying. We see this revealed that Snoke was a clone that Emperor Palpatine was puppeteering the entire time, which was kind of expected. Was in the leaks, and most of the the third act was also in the leaks, which is kind of a bummer since that is actually the leak I heard. But it's still really great just to see on screen. And you got the whole reveal that, Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter, which was a theory out there, and, I kind of believed it personally, and, it turns out to be true, which I'm not mad at, but, it's cool and all, but, just, her and, Kylo Ren's story is just great. I guess we can go and get into the third act, since, the third act is just so great, but, let's just say, oh, hang on, before we get into that, I do want to get to the scene, Leia dies, and, or she kind of dies, to kind of bring Ben back to the light side, and then, on the, records of the old Death Star, because, Rey and them went there to find the Sith locator, so, they could go to Extoba, or however you say it, to find Palpatine, but she fights with Ben there, and Ben stops because he feels his mother died, and Rey just stabs him with his own lightsaber, and he's pretty much dying. She heals him and all, but after she steals his TIE fighter and leaves, he sees the Force Ghost, or just kind of ghost of Han Solo, which I'm actually really surprised they got Harrison Ford back, but I mean, it's just such an emotional moment and all, and Rey goes to Octu to pretty much seclude herself there just like Luke Skywalker did, and she like throws the lightsaber and then Luke catches it. Great to see Luke back, but she leads she finds, or Luke shows her Leia's old lightsaber, and Luke raises his old X-wing, which you saw in The Last Jedi in the water, out of the water, and she flies that to Extabar, and pretty much leaves the entire Resistance fleet there, and just a huge battle ensues because Palpatine's Sith fleet is just like hundreds of thousands of Star Destroyers that have Death Star type weapons on them, which can blow up an entire planet. But the Resistance go there, and they're definitely outnumbered, and there's just like they're riding horses on a Star Destroyer and stuff. It's just so epic and so awesome, and you got the Sith troopers and all of them on there, which is really cool to see. And but eventually Lando and the Millennium Falcon brings in like just thousands of millions of ships in from Resistance and just normal people, and it's just a huge battle. And of course you got that with the battle with Kylo Ren, or Rey and Palpatine, and Kylo Ren like fights on the Knights of Ren and stuff. It's just so awesome. And then he fights him with a blue lightsaber nonetheless, so he's pretty much turned good at this point. But Kylo Ren and Rey get all their Force energy sucked into Palpatine, so now he's even more powerful. And let's just say he pretty much almost takes out all the Resistance and Rebellion fleet, and just with lightning powers, which is kind of amazing. But he like throws Ben down like a cliff or whatever. You think he's dead or whatever, and Rey just hears all the different Jedi voices like Mace Windu. You got like Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn. You just hear all the voices, and they're like, "Rise up, Rey," which I guess that's where the Rise of Skywalker comes from. Yeah. But she pretty much kills Palpatine, which I'm pretty sure he's confirmed dead at this point. And she dies herself from it. But Ben comes out and pretty much heals her and brings her back to life, but at the cost of his own life. And he like force disappears. His clothes are still there or whatever, but and so pretty much, the Resistance wins. The Resistance wins. They kill all the remaining First Order and all the Sith fleet, pretty much. And, a huge celebration ensues. Like, you even get to see, like, the Ewoks again, which, is just really awesome. You got, and then Rey goes to Tatooine and goes to Luke's old, farmhouse and stuff. And she's like, and then this one randomly, she's like, who are you? And she's like, Rey, and she sees the Force ghosts of Luke and Leia, and she's like, Skywalker. And then, her and BB-8 just stare at the two suns, the Star Wars music swells. I mean, it's just such a great ending to, the Skywalker saga. I don't care what people say, this movie is absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to stick with my original rating of a 9.3, because, I mean, to be honest, this is probably my favorite of the sequel trilogy, and definitely by far the prequels and stuff, and probably my favorite of, what Disney's done. But I don't know, it might pass Rogue One, which is my favorite Star Wars movie currently, but I'm definitely going to give this a rewatch. But as of right now, I'm absolutely in love with it. Let me know down below what you guys thought of this movie. What do you guys rate it? Would you rate it as high as I did? And do you think, some of the critical reviews are wrong? Or, just your basic thoughts down below. And just make sure if you put spoilers, put like a spoil, or just put a spoiler warning or whatever. But like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.